What do you do to keep yourself inspired?
It comes from always wanting to be the best. And it's not just the best at selling. It is the best overall top performer. Like, am I scheduling calls correctly? Am I taking care of our customer in every aspect of what they're asking for? I feel like if you are in a position to want to be a top performer based off of more than just selling, then you're going to be better off because one leads to another.
Is there a piece of that where you're like, hey, I'm going to serve somebody and I'm also going to have another opportunity to make more money here?
For sure.
And I love that. God bless America. Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Wisdom of Wrench podcast, otherwise known as the Wow Podcast. I'm Kevin Comerford, and I'm your host. Today in studio, we've got Amanda Meyer, who is our lovely co-host. Hello, Amanda.
If I may. Woo!
Also, we've got a very special guest who's joining us in the arena of call center agents. And Amanda, this just isn't a call center top performer. This is the top performer.
The top performer.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
The top performer when it comes to maintenance agreement sales. And boy, we're in for a treat. I think it's going to be great. I think there's going to be a lot shared with us today. And we're going to get to introducing our guest here in just a second. But I want to just share before we introduce our guest's actual performance over the last couple of years, because it's very impressive. In 2022, our guest, whose name is Heather Passmore, in 2022, Heather finished number one with 1,035 maintenance agreements. In 2023, she also finished number one with 690. In 2024, she finished with 643 maintenance agreements, finished number three in the country there. And in 2025, she's on track for 1,046 maintenance agreements. That, Amanda, is impressive.
Over 1,000.
Yeah. And this is a little bit different today because I've asked you to join. Mm-hmm. Usually on these interview ones, I'm interviewing the guest by myself. However, with your background as a call center manager, I thought, boy, oh boy, Amanda's going to ask some great questions of Heather as well. Excuse me. So that's why I'm delighted that you're joining us.
I'm excited to be here and just to talk to the legend. So
yes. So let's get right to it. Heather Passmore, just want to say hello and welcome you. Amanda and I both welcome you to the Wisdom of Wrench podcast. Nice to have you here.
Thank you. I appreciate you inviting me to it.
Yes. Well, it was an easy choice. You look across the landscape at the top performers in wrench, and Amanda and I have been doing the GOAT Awards for 4 years now. Mm-hmm. And one name continues to show up in the area of call center agents, and it's you. And we get used to your name. We knew you and shared your name a lot over the years. And so it's just wonderful to be able to have you on the show.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Well, let's get right into it. I'd love to hear a little bit about you, your background, your call center journey. Let's share a little bit about Heather.
Cool. Okay, let's start it. So I started working at a different company before, much smaller than what Morris Jenkins is. And there I started off as just their front desk coordinator. That was it. After, like a year, I moved over into their retention, which was essentially just calling their members. Mm-hmm. And if they had a canceled card, just got their updated information and processed their payments and went on about my day. And so I did that for about 3 years. And I built a house, and one of my neighbors worked for Morris Jenkins. And he was like, oh, what is it going to take to steal you away from this other company? And I was like, that's not going to happen. Well, it did a couple months later. And so whenever I started here, it was in May 2018. So I've been here 8 years as of May of this year. And inbound, that's all I've done since I've been here is just inbound stuff. Got married, and we've been married 3 years, and next month, actually. I do have 5 children. So I have my 3 babies and then my 2 bonus babies that are just as much mine. And then my oldest has a daughter. So I am a Gigi to my little baby. I call her mine, even though she is 100% my 20-year-old's, but she's still Gigi's baby. Outside of that, work is travel and work and then work some more. But that's, kind of what got me into it. I had no idea that me starting at Morris Jenkins to answer phone calls was going to lead to where it has. I'm glad that it has, but I never envisioned this is where I would be for sure.
Like on a podcast, on a stage in Nashville, getting awards, being recognized. And I love it. I love it. That's why I think Wrench is so special with regards to that, where we can just showcase the people that deserve it, that are out there every single day making it happen. You may not look at what you do as special. It is very special. It is very special. So your journey in the call center, have you always been, you said you've always been an inbound agent, but have you always been offering maintenance agreements since the day you walked in?
So I have. Ever since I started here, it was just second nature, I guess, but I had help along the way. So we had someone here, her name was Val, and she was over essentially our service agreement department. And if she heard a call where I didn't offer, you would hear Val tracing across the call center, wanting to know why I didn't offer on a call. Well, then there was another agent who we would listen to each other's calls and critique one another. And it was just like a very safe space, just really to try to help each other. So that's what we did. And then it was Rob Johnson, who is now in our training team here.
Yeah.
He was actually my manager at one of the portions of times. And it's just little bits of tips and wisdom that he has provided that has just changed everything so much. But yeah, so, I'm only as strong as I am the people that support around me. So had I not had Val or Rob, I may not have become as, successful as I am now, because it does take a lot of work.
And were you saying that was Rob the one that you were sharing the critiquing with in a very safe place? So
the other representative he was a call center agent inbound too. So his name was Jeff.
Okay.
And so we would just go into our office. It was like a weekly Tuesday meeting with Val. And it's like, okay, well, let's listen to this. And what could the other one have done better? And so not only did it make what we did as far as handling customers and situations better, but it gave us an opportunity to see how one another pitch on these things, like what works for one. Why not try it? But it was Rob's just choice of wording that I'll get into in a little bit when it comes to my secrets. So yeah, that definitely helped move things in a lot quicker direction.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
If I may ask, in those conversations where you're reviewing the calls, when you were still in the learning phase, what did that improvement sound like? What were the things that you were picking up on?
So the biggest thing was empathy, because you want to know that someone hears what you're saying, I want them to know that I am sorry that they're dealing with the situation that they have. But really it's patience. Are you rushing through the call to get to another one? And no, you don't. And so that was the biggest thing that because I am a very quick talker, and he was like, you just need to slow down. And that changed things. But then also just opportunity, what in that opportunity did I miss? And it's how could I have done things differently, knowing what they had happen to make that call different. So, yeah. So that's kind of how it went. But then the fact, that it was a safe place and we felt comfortable with each other, we were able to do that for a very long time, once or twice a week.
And so you would have a call and Jeff would listen to it and he would kind of remark or give you some feedback on, were you empathetic? Were you patient? I think you missed an opportunity here. And maybe you could have asked this question here. So is that kind of how the dialogue went?
It did. But then, on the cross side of that, we did listen to our good calls. Because it's okay, well, what good happened? What can I take away that is working? And so, listening to that as well, it definitely helps because it gives you a different perspective.
Just so many different reps that you got. Just so many reps and correction and reps and what did we do right? I see that just building on itself. Yeah, that's great. That's great. So, I 4 years, we've had GOAT Awards. 4 years, Heather's up at the top. How do you do it every day? How do you do it every year? What do you do to keep yourself inspired?
I think it comes from always wanting to be the best. And it's not just the best at selling. It is the best overall top performer. Am I scheduling calls correctly? Am I taking care of our customer in every aspect of what they're asking for? Do I have ticket errors? What can I do to not have ticket errors? So I feel like if you are in a position to want to be a top performer based off of more than just selling, then you're going to be better off because one leads to another.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying, what I'm hearing, let me just say that is, it starts with a mindset. And the mindset is, I want to be the best. And I just know that there has to be some things that you're doing in your life, mentally, physically, to be able to keep that type of mindset. Those are the things I want to understand. Those are the things I want to know.
So I will say what helps are audiobooks. Because at Morris Jenkins, we do have our service system. We run it. It's, you run the play, and that's what we do. And so preparing every call, you prepare, one time in the morning to come to work, but every call you prepare for the next one. And so it's okay, well, I know I have a couple minutes. Let me just wind down. Let me just kind of take a breather. Let me pop in my AirPod and listen to my audiobook and just kind of reset. Because regardless, whether the person was upset or if they were delightful, it does take a lot out of someone, to just take hundreds of incoming calls a day. And so it's like, okay, well, what do I do? Do I go walk outside and get fresh air? Absolutely. I don't care if it's sitting in a hot car and it's raining. It's a breath of fresh air. And I feel like sometimes you need that to get out of your head sometimes. But also just knowing that you have the ability to help someone else, even if they had the worst day possible. Just talking to you can turn that completely around. So, and then it makes you feel good. You get the goosebumps and, you have to go on break because you have a tear creeping up. But those are kind of what make this job easy. So it's just appreciating the small moments, because that is what makes the bigger moments, even bigger.
Yeah, call center is such an emotional job that I love that you're able to find the good even in those really difficult calls. Being able to seek out that appreciation is a real skill. It takes a lot of discipline. So I applaud you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
How do you find that you are able to reset your mindset, especially on those really busy days? Call center agents, there's probably maybe 4 to 6 weeks out of the year where you're going nonstop. How are you able to reset between those calls when you don't have a lot of time? What's the narrative that you give yourself?
So with me personally, before I hang up the call, everything is finished, because when I hang up, I want to roll to the next one. Mm-hmm. So we have 45 seconds. That's it, from one call to the next. And it's like, okay. And I close my eyes and I think about it and I'm like, I need to come back and look at this and see where I could have been a little different. But I'm not going to pick that apart right now because I have another opportunity in 43 seconds. Okay. So I think it's just breathing, taking it for what it is, but just making a mental note to come back and check on it later.
I love what you said there. I have another opportunity in 43 seconds. And where does your mind go? Like, what does that mean? I have another opportunity to blank, fill in the blank.
To make someone happy, to make sure that they don't have a severe leak in their home, to help them, to sell a priority advantage membership, to schedule their maintenance. The list goes on. But it is an opportunity. Whatever that may look like, it's something new that I didn't have 5 seconds ago.
Amanda and I have had many conversations over the years because I believe the call center is a sales machine. And you have to have sales people. And you have to have people that are coin operated, that like to make extra money, because that is the reality of a sales organization, which are call centers, and we need more of them that are like that. Inside a wrench, I would say, and I think Morris Jenkins has done a great job. Service Champions has done a great job. I've watched, and I only know this because I've really studied a lot of the call centers inside Wrench over the years. So when you say opportunity, is there a piece of that where you're like, hey, I'm going to serve somebody, and I'm also going to have another opportunity to make more money here?
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, I would think there's nothing wrong with, in my opinion, that it's to me it's called otherish giving, where you are helping someone, but there's also you're gaining something as well, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's a great book called Give and Take, where it talks about this otherish giving, and it just sounds like a great salespeople have to have that. They want to serve, yet they want to make money as well. I just wanted to make sure that is that's what you see at the call center at Morris Jenkins.
Yeah, It is definitely an opportunity to help out my family monetarily for sure.
And I love that. God bless America.
Heather, do you set goals around that too?
I do. So I usually break down what I want for the year. And
Love it already. Already love it.
When we are going, I know when to expect slow seasons, and I know when to expect the super busy seasons. Now, has that changed this year in particular? Absolutely. Because I think it was either February or March, I sold like 120. You don't have a March that you have that opportunity because you're in between seasons. Mm-hmm. So it's like being able to dig in and find it. That's another thing. It's like just being able to find opportunities is super big. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it is goals. And so like this month, it's hot, but my goal was 95. But my goal last month was 100, and I, surpassed that. And I know that I will this month too. But it's like, I feel like if you break them into more small, manageable, then anything that's of excess, it just carries over through your end of the year numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I think what I'm hearing is it sounds like you're very good at being disciplined in the tough seasons as well as being disciplined when it's easy. Mm-hmm. That's so great.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to hear more about this dig in and find opportunity, because that's, I think, what Amanda's referring to when she says disciplined in the slower seasons where the phones aren't ringing. Can you share a little insight? And you're selling 120 maintenance agreements. Did I hear you say in February in North Carolina? Mm-hmm. Are you kidding me? The phones are not ringing off the hook in February at all in North Carolina. It's like beautiful. It's like 70 degrees outside, maybe 60 to 70, right?
But yeah, so you do. You have to find it.
Yeah.
And so there are some areas of things that I do. So I keep my outbox pretty freshly clear of anything other than emails that I've sent to our customers. So when it's slow outside, I go back through those emails and I see if it was successful. If I didn't sell it, a technician didn't sell it, well, now it's a whole new opportunity for me to do it again. So I reach back out to them. Just, basically what I've said is, hey, I see that we've been out here before. I appreciate you for allowing us into your home. I just want to make sure that you had a wonderful experience. And what can we do to earn more of your business?
So if I understand correctly, your outbox is sent to a client that you've booked a call for?
It is. Well, yes. So any customer that I have talked to that I have not been able to capture on that phone call, they get an email before I hang up the phone.
I see. That's great. And is that something that is generated, just so I understand, is that something that's generated from Service Titan, or is that something that Heather generates that says, hey, just a reminder, if you here are the benefits of our maintenance agreement. Tell me what that email looks like.
Okay. So like what's the most recent one? Okay. So one that I just sent out recently was, thank you. Oh gosh, I don't remember it verbatim, but right. It was something to the effect of, we've been out to your home recently, and I just want to say thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity to service your home. I do just want to make sure that you are fully aware that we do offer great benefits that are included within our maintenance package. I see this is what we were here for before. And, in case you have this issue moving forward, this would certainly help you. Please let me know if there's anything I can do, any questions, and I'll be more than happy to help you.
and you just do that yourself. You got your closing up Service Titan, boom, you're going to go over to email, send an email. Now that does one of two things. That either sets the technicians up for success, which is great because now they have another email in addition to what you said to them. So now the techs have an opportunity, and then and correct me if I'm wrong, but then that also is what you're using as your follow-up mechanism when you're digging in, when you're dig in and find opportunity.
Yep.
I love it. That's great.
Out of curiosity, do you reach out to them after the technician runs the visit as well if the technician doesn't close it?
1,000%.
Love that.
Okay. So you might reach out to them sooner. I'm just thinking, if this is July or June, right? And you send the email, the tech's going to go run the call in June. So maybe later today. You're following up after the tech left today or yesterday or tomorrow, whatever, to follow up and say, how'd the service go? What does that call look like?
Yeah, so it depends on the circumstance. So if it was something like, let's say we went out there and did a tune-up, I'm not going to reach out to them to set that up again because they already had it. But do they know they need it again in the fall? They do. So that's whenever they get, and I reach out to them again, is the start of a new season. Because if they used us once, why would they not use us again? So
correct. And the first time they used you, they might have just gotten a tune-up flyer.
Yeah.
And the second time, you're going to look to get them on an ongoing maintenance program because of these additional benefits. Am I following that correctly?
Yeah, because every year Morris Jenkins adds an extra benefit. We don't change the pricing as far as an increase, but we continue to add value. So by doing that, I could be telling them something they didn't even know about. Like this year we added electrical services to it. Well, they didn't know we offered electrical services in November because we didn't have it. But now that adds value to what they had before, but didn't go with it. So,
and what benefit do they get? Just so I'm curious, on the electrical services side, I know for plumbing they get a free drain cleaning, right? What do they get as a new electrical client?
So right now for electrical, it's just the same discounts on repairs as they get for plumbing and HVAC. So I know that we'll be rolling out, I'm sure. They're in the works well before today of what the next thing is going to be. But they do get that. And, electrical's picking up. And it's like, okay, well, I didn't know you guys would come out and hang my ceiling fans.
Right.
We sure will.
Yes.
And we can do it at a reduced rate for you.
And who wouldn't love that? Right? Who wouldn't love that? Yeah, that's great. That's great. I mean, the opportunity that I think we see in all these businesses as we begin to expand into home services. I know Morris Jenkins has seen it by adding plumbing has just been, it's just astronomical. It's just been tremendous. It really has. So process on a call. Take me through the process on a call. And yeah, go ahead.
So we have our service system. So there's 8 different steps.
When you say as a call center agent, okay, 8 steps.
Our call center agents, our technicians, our sales, we know what we need to do in order. Now, we are able to mix that up a little bit depending on, how we want to do it. So I don't offer on a call just one time. After I get all of their information and I go click save in Service Titan, I'm already asking them who they use to do their maintenance. It doesn't matter what. Now, if it's a different trade, then it's like, okay, well, who do you use for your plumbing? And if they say nobody, well, then who do you use for your HVAC maintenance? I don't have that done either. Well, we offer this program that can help you with those two trades plus electrical as well. And so if they're like, okay, and we just move on to the next thing, and then I'll, get ready to schedule their appointment. And then by the time I get at the end of Service Titan, because after I have already saved the appointment, I go in and just, refresh. I make sure that their address is correct, their time, their dates, all of that, verify all of their demographics again. And then I'm like, okay, well, just know that, if you do decide that you want to do this service plan, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help. And when you call me back, I will go ahead and set up your maintenance appointment as well.
Mm-hmm.
So then they're getting this immediate issue resolved, but then they have something to look forward to also. So.
Yeah, that's great. And so I understand the benefits that come with the maintenance program at Morris Jenkins. It's a monthly plan, correct? It's I think you were telling me that the number's $19.95 a month, correct?
Yes.
And what are some of the other benefits that come with it? Just so our
what's your go-to that you talk about when you're selling it to members or to clients?
So it depends on what it is. So back at the beginning, I mentioned Val. She always told me, hit where the pain is. What is happening that they need help with now? So you circle it around that. Like, oh, okay, you have a clogged drain. Okay, well, we can get out there and we can clear that for you. And just so you know, like whenever I'm going through my pitch with them, it does offer the twice-a-year service of your HVAC. You do get unlimited drain cabling within 75 feet with proper access at no cost all throughout the year. But then you also get extra added benefits on any repairs with an extended warranty if anything is needed.
See, I can tell you've got your reps in the way you perfectly reeled that off.
Yeah. Just a little bit. I only mention it a couple times a day.
That whole proper access line, I was like, I trip over that every time. That was so perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if you have a client give me another one where you would do what Val was saying, hit where the pain is. Give me another example.
They have no AC.
Okay.
So what from our maintenance plan is going to help them with no AC today? Well, the fact that they're already getting their preventative maintenance, so they're getting their diagnostics every 6 months with their cleanings, and we inspect their ductwork. Well, then outside of that, they get their discounts on diagnostics and repairs with a 2-year warranty on the repair, but then they have all of these other benefits they have access to as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the pain is the reason they're calling.
And so you're building the whole maintenance story, the maintenance pitch, as you called it, around what is the pain the client's experiencing. In that case, would you talk about priority service?
You do. So here recently, especially with the weather we've had this week, we never want to say, well, if you sign up today, we're going to get you ahead of everyone else, because that's not fair to the customers we have already that are under our maintenance plan. So for that particular instance, I don't like saying it, because then they can sign up, get their discount, and then just cancel. And so that's all they used us for, was just their discounts. Whereas if they are calling in and they have an issue and you tell them how to prevent the issue from happening moving forward, then the discounts don't matter at that point, because they're having a flood in their attic because their safety switch isn't working, or because they don't have one, and they just need us out there because the unit's produced a gallon of water an hour. So it's how can they prevent the negative thing that they have going on?
It's great. So you just answered the question that I had next, which is how do you bring up the maintenance program? And what you're telling me is figure out the pain the client is having and build your maintenance pitch around that, whatever the benefit is in the maintenance program. Pretty simple.
Yeah. It is. Well, it used to not be.
Yeah.
So we had this book that I'm sure we still have around Morris Jenkins somewhere in the contact center. And it was the what, the why, and the how. So what is happening? Why is it happening? And how can we help it to not happen again? And so you have to say, like, you have to fill it out. And then there was the other one, and it was pitch perfect. And it was, you had to have a pitch for each season. And we wanted to know, who has the best pitch, or what can you take from each one? Mm-hmm. And the very first thing I thought of, well, do they have a heat pump, a gas furnace, or a gas pack? Because those are all different pitches.
Right.
So it's, a lot of tools that we have around here.
That's a very important skill for a call center agent that I think is tough. It's a fluid pitch, right? You have to be fluid with what the client wants. And that's something that you're probably world class at. Heather, is being fluid with what the client needs and being able to adjust what you're saying and how you're approaching based on the client.
Well, thank you. It's taken a lot of time to perfect it, but I just feel like if you stumble on your words, then you don't come off as like confident. Mm-hmm. And, something I've always heard is if someone picks up on someone not being confident, then they're going to pick it apart. Mm-hmm. And so it, instead of is looked at as we're helping them, it's what are you selling me?
You mentioned Rob Johnson earlier, and I see the smile that comes on your face when I mention Rob, and some of the words and even some of the magical words that he's helped you with. Can you share some of those that have made a big difference for you specifically?
Yes. So the biggest transformation for my PA sales was moving are you using to who are you using? Because instead of it being a yes or no answer, they're providing a name.
Who are you using currently for your maintenance services? Okay. Yep. And okay, so now they provide that. Or they don't provide it. I'm not currently using anybody. Right? Is that what you want to hear, or what do you want to hear? Either way.
So either way, if they say I'm not using anyone, well, why aren't you using anyone? Mm-hmm. We offer this wonderful plan that can help you with the major components of the three biggest trades at your home. Mm-hmm. And then at that moment, you then build your pitch off of, if they have someone, why aren't they coming to service you? And then you can use that as an opportunity to take them, because we can get there faster. Mm-hmm. And then if they have no one, they already know they need us. They just don't want to admit that they want to have the services done.
Right.
So
that's great.
Adding that who provokes a different line of thought. That's really smart.
It does, yeah. Mm-hmm. I know that because I've heard it for years, very familiar with Jonathan. I know Brandon. One of the things that Morris Jenkins does, which I would even call it their secret sauce, is their ability to build relationships with their clients. And I've heard it explained, the relational client versus the transactional client. We do well at Morris Jenkins with the relational client. First off, what does that mean, and how does that apply to you in the call center when you're taking a call with a client?
So I feel like if you were building a relationship with them, like you want to know what's happening. How long has it been happening? And you just establish that rapport with them instead of immediately selling them into something, then you're making them feel heard. Like you're building that relationship. You want to know, what's going on because you want to help them. Mm-hmm. Anything else outside of that is just extra. So if they call in and they're like, hey, yeah, I want a maintenance done. It's like, okay, great. We offer this maintenance plan that will provide that for you. And let's get you scheduled and set up for that. Well, that's no, we're not going to do that. So we're going to walk them through, well, what kind of services are you looking for? Are you looking for a one-time, or are you looking more for preventative? Because we do offer one-time service, but you do get a more beneficial experience with our maintenance plan. And that gives them the opportunity to then tell you what they're looking for. Again, you base that off of what they tell you. Okay, you want a one-time service? Let me tell you the two things that we offer. And if you're going to spend $129 on a one-time visit, you'd be better off getting our maintenance plan, because then you're paying less and you're getting more for your money.
I like that.
So it's like
$129, $129 for a one-time service, or the maintenance plan at $19.95. I think part of, and do you ever run specials throughout the year? Like a maintenance, a tune-up is $69 or $79, et cetera. If you really need calls, will you do that?
We do. So we have our basic service that is $89. And that's what we tell them. You know, we offer a wonderful service. It is our basic entry level visit, a great visit. But depending on what you're looking for, this may or not be what you're looking for. So just tell me what you're wanting to have done. And then you can then give them a very honest description of what that covers and be like, okay, so if you're wanting like the full maintenance with a diagnostic, let me tell you about this other one that may be what you're looking for.
Okay.
So just allowing them to move that conversation around helps out a lot too.
And your $89 basic service, is that really like almost like a safety inspection?
Yeah.
Pretty basic. And so you could run a special on a safety inspection even beyond the 89 if you want. I don't want to put words into your mouth, but it would seem that you can, but you don't want to really discount your maintenance call. Is that what I'm hearing? You don't necessarily discount the 129?
We don't.
Yeah, because I could see how if you don't discount the 129, that puts a lot more value with the client to buy the 1995, because it's almost the same price, probably a little bit less. Yeah.
And it's funny because Mark Cagle, who is our HVAC director, when I started, there was someone that called in and they were like, oh, you guys are so expensive. And Mark looked at me and he was like, we're not that expensive. It's not that we're more expensive, it's that we don't charge enough. So like because they'll be like, oh, well, some companies are only charging $69. They are. But what are you getting for the $69 and what experience are you going to have?
Right.
Because that's another thing that we've always gone over, was experience over expense. Do they care about saving money, or do they care about the money they're spending for the experience? Because I can go to Carowinds down the street from us, or I can go to Disney World. Am I going to get a much better experience at Disney World? Absolutely. And I get to see Mickey Mouse. I don't get to see that at Carowinds down the street.
Yes.
So.
That's great. Objections. Do you face objections? Do you overcome them? What tell me about that. Like, or does everybody just lay down and say, Heather, you're the best in the country, just take me?
I wish it were that easy, because if that's the case, then we'd be racking up 2,000 this year. But no, so you listen to them, you allow them to tell you no, but that's also why I place mine where I do. So they hear about it before we've even gotten into scheduling the appointment. They've told me what's wrong, and I've already created their account with us. But then past that, as I'm saving, we're already discussing it, because then by the end of the call, I can bring it back up and say, okay, well, I definitely understand you don't want it today, but just know that if it is something you ever want, we will always offer it, and we'll be more than happy to set this up for you. And I do get a lot of callbacks about that, because of course I shoot my email over and they have time to look at it, because a lot of people, they call in, they're on coffee break, and their wife has called them and their AC is not working. So they don't have time to hear anything that I have to say. They just want to make sure that their wife knows that we're coming out to get something fixed.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm sending the literature, they sit down, they're reading it, then they have a couple hours to call back or to even shoot me an email and we discuss it.
Yeah. So giving them time to digest, but knowing that, I think the key thing is they're knowing that you're going to follow up as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what percentage of the maintenance agreements that you're selling would you say, and I just give me an idea, are you selling 50% of them on the phone and 50% as part of a follow-up, 50% or 75% over the phone, and 25% as your follow-up? And I'm including that the comment you made where you dig in and find opportunity as part of the if 75 is on the inbound call, I would say the find opportunity is the 25. So if we're taking real easy, 1,000 maintenance agreements that you sell, how many do you sell of those on the initial call in?
I would say 80% are what I take over the phone.
Okay. Okay.
The
So
other 20 is they need to sit down and think about it. They need to speak with their spouse. Their son is coming over tonight and they want to talk about it and their appointment's not till tomorrow. Yeah, a majority of them are over the phone. It's whenever we're slow where you have to go find them. That's when that 20% kicks in because your phone's not ringing. If you're having to find them, then your opportunity is going to be higher because the phone's not ringing to get the incoming ones.
right. So if I heard you correctly, 80% of the time, 80% of your sales are happening with that call. That client is calling in for a diagnostic, their system's down, or they're calling in for a maintenance off of a tune-up piece they got from you guys, and you're selling it right there on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. And you're getting the credit card right there?
Yes.
So there's no confusion between whether you sold it or the tech sold it. You're getting the credit card. You're processing it. Are you processing their first payment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're processing their first payment right then. You're billing them $19.95. But you're coming out to my house. You're going to do a diagnostic to get my system up and running. And then what? Are you going to come out a week later to do the tune-up?
It depends on the weather.
Okay.
Because like right now we're booked out just a little bit, but if we are originally coming out for a problem, then I use the verbiage of we are going to schedule your maintenance appointment to use as a follow-up to make sure that everything we did is still running great. There's no other areas of concern, especially if they have more than one system. If all we did was fix one, they're still going to have the other 1 or 15 that needs to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
So that helps tie all of those moving pieces together, because either you're using it as a follow-up visit or you are using it to come out to make sure that the other systems, they're not going to have a problem with it when it's 110 degrees outside.
Mm-hmm.
You said you use the maintenance, the tune-up as the follow-up. That is so smart on so many levels. Is that your guys' standard practice? Is that what everyone in the call center does? Or is that just you?
That's just me.
That is so smart because the tune-up is now a future generator for revenue for the technician. The client's seeing immediate value and you're making it easy to do business because you're taking care of all of those appointments in one phone call. That is so great.
Yes, let's keep that a secret just on this podcast.
That is such a great best practice.
I think it would be, yes. So everybody at Morris Jenkins now knows the one of the secret sauces.
Well, what's so crazy is like Jarrett Freeze. who has been coming with me to all of these things as another participant.
Yes.
He's like, Heather, could you not let me have that one? No, I could not. And we crack up about it. But it is funny. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, though, I mean, we kind of look after one another. If I'm selling something on something that Jarrett's going to run, then I took care of him on the front end and he's going to take care of him on the back end. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a well-oiled machine over here.
It is, for sure. That's what I'm hearing, for sure. So, you know, if you, and maybe you share this message with other call center agents inside Morris Jenkins all the time, and maybe you don't. But what we've got hundreds, even close to 1,000 call center agents, and what message, if they're not currently really in the game with regards to getting clients happily involved in maintenance agreements, where do I start? How do I begin?
Well, by listening. Because you need to listen to what's happening. You have to tune everything out. You can even jot down information. When I started, I had a notepad pulled up on my computer. So everything they told me, I would just type it out. Because there are some pieces I can take away that we don't need to know. But then there's a lot that they do give. And you're not having to ask them for the same thing. Because the last thing you want to do is get a call from someone who has water coming down from their ceiling and you didn't listen to anything they said. That in itself creates another issue. So just listening and repeating what they've said just to make sure that you did hear it correctly, because they usually always have something else to add. And then taking care of that customer, making sure that they know we're here, that you are doing your due diligence by offering a service that is going to help them out, if not now, in the future. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the day, making sure that you follow up with them if they tell you no, because that's what they're going to remember is, yes, they said yes to the technician who needed to come out to do their repair, but they told you no, and you still reached back out to them. Mm-hmm. And just by them saying no, don't get discouraged by it. Every call is a new opportunity, and you have to take it as that. Because if you got hung up on the call you took at 6 a.m. where someone told you no, and it's now 1 p.m., you've already taken 50 to 100 calls in that amount of time, and you were so beat down by that one no that you didn't even offer it to anyone else.
That's great. That's great. So that's just a mindset. Sounds like it's just a mindset of putting it out of your mind, taking that deep breath, anything in particular that you're doing. I know you said you kind of just take a deep breath, go for a walk, get out of the office. But if you're having that bad situation that Amanda talked about earlier, that does happen in call center or in call centers where you're getting yelled at or it's hectic. Anything that any words of wisdom you'd give there that you haven't already shared? You might have shared some of it already.
I think it's to not take offense. They're not mad at you. They're mad that they're in a situation they never wanted to be in. And so if you are doing your empathy and your reassurance, then just by you doing that alone is going to know that they're not in it alone. But then you're helping to get someone to them just as quickly as possible. So then it's going to be an issue they didn't want to be in, that now they're not in it alone, but they know that there's a solution before they go out of town to Jamaica the next day. Mm-hmm. So it's just making sure that you are running the play.
Love it. Well, that's a great place to wrap up. Heather, I look at your performance, and one of the things that always inspires me is to always look to make my future bigger than my past. Always. That's how it, and clearly with you and how your life has evolved, and now you have 5 kids, and you continue to do well at Morris Jenkins. Clearly, you're also someone that always looks to make their future bigger than their past. So I applaud you on that. And we end each podcast. First off, I just want to thank you. You were great. Amanda, you want any closing remarks to Heather?
Listen, I'm going to be calling you after this just to ask more questions because I have like 100 written down already. So thank you so much because you've just already given, I feel like, so many great pieces of wisdom to all of the call center agents out there. It's a tough job, but you're clearly so passionate and so well-informed, and you know your product, and you're inspiring.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. And as we close, here's to a bigger future. Look forward to seeing you on stage over and over, year after year.
I'll see you in San Diego.
Yes. Look forward to it. Take care.